Brian Brosdahl here with the weekly report. I want to tell you a lot has changed in the North Country. Leech, Cassawinny, and surrounding area. The waters have rose on the north ends, everything going north of the Laurentian Divide. The Laurentian Divide is kind of the backbone of the North Country here. Everything north of there, the water flows north, just so you know. And I'm guiding for walleyes, but in my time off I'm going for panfish, and I'm kind of whispering because there's people out here. I don't want to give up everything, but the panfish are really biting. Some lakes have already spawned. The fish have spawned and moved out to the weed beds, and that's where I like to use this St. Croix, the longer rods. They have them from 8 foot to 11 foot for pan fishing, and you can just drop it in the weeds and lift up. For emergent vegetation, that's very important. And then my bobber's going down. Let me get that. All right, love it. Ooh, I love these. Nice one, not a monster, but definitely a good one here. Well, that one's real fat. Love it when they're biting like crazy. I'm using a little firefly jig, but nice panfish like this are fun to catch. This one's looks like it has a lot of eggs in it, so I'm gonna let it go. There you go, baby. Thanks for biting. The walleye fishing has been phenomenal. A lot of fish being caught in 8 to 12 feet of water during the day. When the wind blows, get up shallow. One thing I'm seeing a few people do, and I like that they're doing it, is slip bobber fishing. Now on big lakes like Mille Lacs, they'll do this. I wrap the rods to keep it from tangling, so I'm not actually tangled here. When you're using slip bobber rigs for walleyes, a little jig head, or you could use a small hook here, size 4 hook. Put a leech on there and let the leech do the work. Some lakes that are clear, I'll do a 2-foot leader, but I put a swivel. I use braid, round braid. Bionic braid is round, so I'll use that in its bass green color, slop green. So then if you break your line, all you break is the leader below the swivel. So if you get hung up in real thick weeds or a log or whatever, you break the bottom. I learned that fishing out in the Dakotas, which has a lot of brush. So a little bullet sinker, you could use an egg sinker, kind of heavy, so you can pitch it out there in the wind and waves. And you can even go shorter. You get dark stained lakes, go with a short leader. But I like to use a little sharp jig head, RZ jig or a fireball jig head with a leech or a shiner. Works great. If you're fishing rocks or weeds, this is going to be a great way to fish. So don't forget your slip bobber rigs. You could also drag this. We call it slip dragging. Slip bobber dragging. And I like to use St. Croix fishing rods. I have an Icon series. It's got backbone. It's light. And I got a couple of them set up for slip bobber rigging. If the fish are going, you're making a pass through and catching them jigging, and it's a little bit slow, go around, drop anchor, and throw a slip bobber. Sometimes you could really hammer them, so that's key. But I almost always use braid, except in real clear water. Sometimes I don't use it, but braid gives you the ultimate sensitivity. As far as fluorocarbon, don't go heavier than your braid. You want this to break, but you don't want to lose the bobber, the knot, the bead, the sinker, and the swivel. So for this week, get out there, try slip bobber fishing, fireball jig heads. Make sure you have lively bait. I like the 1404 minnow bucket by Frabill, and get out there, side image your fish. I use a hummingbird to make sure I know where the weed lines are. And with today's mapping, you'll find all kinds of food shelves. Get out there and fish, and we'll see on the water. The fish are going, and the water's coming back up. Until next week, Brian Brosdahl with the Fishing Report.